Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mark with Effort. This is your boy, Benzo.
This is your boy, Daffy Duck. FD Sushi. What's up, man?
We just act like we are everyone's boy. This
Yeah,
is your
bro.
boy.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm always your boy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always your second boy.
Yeah, I'm always a secondary school boy.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Oh bro. We both live in Angkang, right? So just nice, right? We can both hear the airplane.
Yes, the airplane, and also bro. There's constructions happening like above my house. So
The
sometimes you're
rooftop,
knocking.
bro. Just the
Dude,
rooftop.
that day it freaking drill right above my room.
Then they drill one hole.
No, bro, it sounds like they drill in my ear. Walao eh. Then I'm like, okay lah, like it's what it
Constructions,
is.
man. Alright, man. They gotta improve your building. Oh, okay, cool, man. Anyway, talking about like I mean not new generation of dancers, I would say like the newer batch of dancers. Like we have like Travi, we have Krisha, we have Liang, and today I think we have a guest that I would say that at a young age, right, he has accomplished quite a little bit, I would say. And I'll be interested to know like as a young boy with amount of things like accomplishment, like how will he handle the how public will look at him, you know, like whenever you achieve such stuff, right, at a young age, you know, there will be tend to have people talking about it. Get on, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, get what I'm trying to say, bro.
Bro, because I listen to the airplane, right, at my house, right, but I can hear the airplane at your side, bro.
Hey, bro, I don't know, man. I think this
But it's so
podcast the
funny.
audio jialat, yeah. I cannot like.
The airplane, wow, then you're knocking, bro. I think it's just all about sound effect. Alright, man. But bro,
Apart from all of these distractions, okay, everybody, let's just welcome our good friend Jian Hong, Pineappleboogie. What up, bro?
AKA Pineapple. What's up, bro?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
Thank you so much
the
for having
podcast,
me.
man. Welcome to the
What's
podcast.
up, man? What's up, Steve Jobs? How you doing, bro?
Hey, guys, okay.
I'm
Before we
good.
start, bro, Fari is a DJ. I'm a
Yeah.
guy that works at McDonald's taking your delivery, and then Jian Hong is the guy that works at Apple with his AirPod on and his black like round neck long sleeve.
Gotta make it
I think-
turtleneck a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, the thing. We are a very diverse podcaster.
Hey, how you been,
Yeah,
man? How you
yeah,
been,
man.
bro? How's this circuit breaker been treating you?
It's good. I feel like I'm someone who always go out of like I'm never home basically.
Yeah,
and
right.
My mom always tells me that. But this time, I've spent like more than 60 days at home. I didn't even go out to buy food. I didn't even do
man.
anything, and I feel like that's a very different experience, and it's a different extreme.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I feel like it's something that you don't always experience, but yet it teaches you so much of how to be alone.
Right.
You know,
Mm.
because I feel like I'm someone that feeds off energy from people,
Right.
but this time you don't have that. So
Cool.
being alone is like something to learn,
Yeah.
and it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I told you, like my sister also, she loves it. She don't wanna go back work anymore. Like she wanna work from home, like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Find
Yeah,
like
man.
clarity in this during this circuit breaker. Like, hey, man, I'm trying to find myself. What I'm trying to go and do.
I mean, we all can agree lah. Like through
Yeah.
any kind of like difficult time, there's always that silver lining in the end. You get what I'm trying to say?
Mine is gold.
Yeah, I get what you.
Yeah, mine's always black lining, bro. Alright, so we're actually gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about you, your achievement. We're gonna talk about the movement.
man.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
like when you in Diamond High. And you talk about all
Wow.
that.
Yeah. All right, let's go, man. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, I
let's
think
go.
for me, right? Okay, like I mean,
Mhm.
every episode, like we would ask our guests, like, hey, how you started and stuff like that. But I think this time around, I want to skip that a little bit much more. I want to get straight into it. Like, so, okay, for yourself, right? You basically you're a very young boy. I mean, as a dancer, yeah, young, and
Hey,
Yeah lah.
young boy.
young boy. Yeah, so like and for you, right, being an instructor, traveling out to share and being in a crew, like having your own item, and you go overseas to share and stuff like that. But as a young instructor like yourself, right? Like, don't care about what other outside has to say, but you yourself, like, do you sometimes face a challenge whereby you tell yourself like, hey, are all these accomplishments getting into your head? Like, hey, I have all this, so I'm kind of like the shit right now. Like, do you face yourself saying? Because for me, right, I think there's a point of time like during NRA, I face such stuff, but except for like I'm being like the dancer that everyone has been talking about. That's about
You're feeling yourself a little bit lah.
Yeah, right. Yes.
I think, I feel like any dancer, okay, I wouldn't say any, but I feel like especially when it comes to achievements like traveling abroad, where it's something like highly sought after in our Singapore community. I think when you are when you're achieving such things and you're acknowledged on an international platform, it definitely gets into your head, and and I think then it takes like a level of finesse to manage that, because it's one thing to let it get into your head, but it's another to know that, oh, this is getting in my head. Then how do you then move on from there? Because if you just let it get into your head without you knowing, then that's where it'll manifest into like everything else in how you teach and how you create and how you present yourself. And I think sometimes this awareness takes time. It's not like, oh, I traveled today, then tomorrow I realize I'm not the shit anymore. It takes time to process, and definitely I have my fair share of struggle managing that. Especially when I think, and it comes in different forms. So like the first time I started technically professionally as an instructor in 2018. So
that's pretty recent.
That's pretty recent.
Fucking fast, bro.
So,
but that's
with it, so I started teaching at Recognized Studio. Shout out Recognized Studio.
Shout out, Recognized Studio.
Studio R.
What up, Felix? Hey, we still gotta get down that cipher.
Fire still gonna call you out. Yeah. Alright,
so
man.
From I remember I started in January as a new and fresh batch of urban. Okay, it's not, sorry, cannot say urban.
It's
as
okay,
a new
it's
batch
okay.
Of like,
This was the past.
This was the past.
Yeah, we understand where it
past.
came from, so it's all good.
So let's if you were to say urban, what would you say? Dance. Yeah.
Just say choreography.
Just
choreography.
Choreography, just choreography. So I started in January then. Then in March, that was Summer Jam.
Right.
Then Nick got me to collaborate with Tavin.
Right.
So back then I was like, wow, as a 3-month youngling instructor. Then I'm like, wow, I get to collaborate with someone from another country, and what's that that is such a new experience to me. And then how that then became my first big trip to Germany to then teach. And all that happened within half a year in my professional career. And I feel like at that point in time I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle this. And because I feel like when you are not from more prominent crews or institutions, like be it certain poly dance clubs or even, because back then I wasn't in uni yet, you don't have people to champion you.
To back you up, like say, hey, he deserved this. He's ready. That's kind of, okay.
Yeah. So no one, because my first dance mentor is Justice, and he's not exactly very engaged within the scene right now. He can't be that voice. And my other mentor is Ziling. She's not like very in the scene as well. So people I look up to and listen to cannot be that voice for me in the local dance community.
Right.
And that was a struggle for me because I had to figure out, okay, how do I then navigate this? How do I figure out? So I looked to Amsha a lot. I remember back then before
Shout out
I
Amsha.
traveled.
What up, man?
Shout out to Amsha.
Hey, man.
Hey, he's doing good stuff, man. Right now, like he's doing all the. I don't know. Just shout out to him. He's dope.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. So I remember before I flew to Germany, I asked him out. Like we met and I was like, I need some advice on how I should go about this. Because I really don't know how to, like, how am I supposed to treat my craft now that it's being brought to the international stage.
Right.
And I remember he just told me to, like, I can't remember the exact thing he said, but he was constantly trying to assure me of like my craft, and part of it was also like you only got that one chance because like you are really there already.
Yep.
Then I remember another advice from a friend, Paige, not sure if you know. She gave me the best advice. So I was panicking, like, how do I teach like in a dance camp with like so many people? Then she was like, it's just like teaching your normal class, but you just speak a bit louder.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Exactly that, because it's a bigger space.
Yeah.
So
with
that was the best advice.
With more people attending the class, that's about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's a good advice though. That's a really it's a simple but it's
effective
solid advice.
Yeah, very effective.
Yeah. Yeah. So but I think back to your question about how it gets in your head. I think it so I remember like one of the more like as a dancer, because you're always looking for the next big opportunity. And when it starts to come, you are always looking at, okay, what's next?
Yes.
So I think this definitely came after I went to Sino stage for the first time.
Yes.
Because you go to Kinja's dojo and you feel like, wow, you see so many people that you look up to like transit across this platform.
Yeah.
There's like so many eyes around the world looking at this like master class of a studio. And then I thought to myself, wow, I got to meet amazing people like Ben Faustino and Terry Ching from GRV. And then I wondered, okay, where like I was trying to think, is this gonna be like a springboard to something greater? And it kind of didn't for half a year. And during that half a year, you from January to say May, during that period, I think I was very caught up in that. Wow, because once you go in like out there and you realize that wow, I have so many like new perspectives, then how do I approach my craft? I get so caught up with how do I improve my choreography that it became less about what am I doing for the students in my weekly class. Because then because the intent of teaching at first was this space is for my students.
Yes.
I'm there to facilitate that. And that's what I always told myself. But after coming back, then it became about like, okay, what makes a great choreography? How do I push each week to choreograph better? How do I explore certain concept? It became more about me and my craft. I think that's a trap for, so I think that's where it gets in your head. You become like very in your own world. Then when it comes to class, it's just, oh, this is what I explore. Let me just like at the same time just share with you. And I think that I realized I created great pieces, but not necessarily like connecting with the students per se. Then
have your friend like is there a friend that ever like tell you, hey bro, your head be too big now, can you please take a look at yourself or not?
No, actually, I've never gotten that because maybe because I always stop myself before that happened, and I'm someone that thinks a lot.
Right.
So back then, I feel like everything was happening so quickly, and every quarterly of a year, I would fall into this identity crisis per se. I'm like, okay, where am I at? Why am I thinking like that? Why am I doing things like that? And so every quarter of a year, I'll reflect upon where I'm at. Then from there, change up certain things. So I think that was a reason why I realized that, and I realized I didn't want to move on like that. I didn't want to be overly caught up with my own craft. And I remember we had a conversation like together during the supper. I was like, asking you guys, should I run for like blast committee?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And that came up because I was like, okay, I don't want to keep doing things solely for myself. And since I'm in the club, how can I be present there? How can I, based on what I have, based on the connections that I have, how can I bring that to wherever I'm at to benefit the people around? And it's not just about me anymore. And I think, end of the day, that's what made me decide to run for it. As much as I remember some of the advice was that it's going to take up so much of your time. You definitely have to sacrifice certain parts of your own journey as a dancer. And I look back now, it's true. You have to make sacrifices. But along the way, you also learn so much more about leadership. You learn so much more, not even just about leadership, but how do you work with other people who are also dancers and know that you're doing this like for something beyond yourself. And I think that really, what you do and where you put yourself in, the environment you put yourself in, really takes you out of your own head. And sometimes it can still go back, you know, it can still be like,
definitely.
Yeah. It can still be like, I'm the captain.
Yeah.
And I'm not just like, there are lines of thoughts where like, I'm not just any captain, you know, I am technically also an instructor outside. How do you balance that? So there are all these like finer things that I think so much about, that I feel like I'm my biggest critique.
I think don't we all?
Yeah, I think all of us are.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the reason why I asked, right, is because like the very first time that I met you was you remember the community dance camp happened like 2018, right?
End of 2000. Wait, was it
2017 or something?
2017,
right? It was 3 years ago. That happened so fast. And to be honest, like I didn't want to join the camp, but I decided, okay, you know what? Let's go and have fun. So my mind is like, I just want to have fun. And then I think I heard about you, but I didn't like know you. So like when I entered the camp, I saw a lot of familiar faces and new faces. Then I saw this very hungry boy that really wants it. So I was like, hey, cool, man.
I thought you're looking at me, very hungry boy. So I think.
Yeah, that's hungry man. So I saw a boy that is really that's just very hungry for big stuff. And at that point in time, like I didn't really know you, so I just had talked with you, just maybe like just small talks with you. So in my mind was like, okay, I have this feeling like, okay, this boy might in the future run, he might have things like maybe will like he might be a stuck up. He might like, you know, like get in his head like, hey, I'm good. Like everyone needs to know that I'm good. Yeah, but that's totally fine. To me, that's totally fine. And then, but I see great potential in you. But the only thing I'm afraid, like sometimes when you have great potential, you have like you have talent. Things might you might be going to the wrong direction. So so in my mind, my first thing was like, hey, I'm creating a crew for Arena. And then me and Jun was discussing, and then I was like thinking, how about Boogie? As much as he's very young, and how about I want to share with him like dance is not just about yourself. Like I just want to like bring the crew, not telling you straight in the face like, hey, you might be very good by yourself, and you might turn like into a very ego dancers, but I think like I wanted to share with you like dance is not just about you yourself being great, but but it's about like having great people, not just great dancers, great people coming together and then make something great by just showing with actions. That's why I think that's one thing that like I wanted to ask you, and I also want to share with you. Like I didn't have a chance to share with you like the reason why. But as years goes by, I felt like I really think that you grew up as a person, as a dancer, since when the first time you went to Germany for the handover dance camp. Till now, I think you grew quite a bit as a person. You, like what you said, you feel like you wanted to, you put people first before yourself. Yeah. So I think that's great, man. I think what you're doing now is great. Keep it up, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hey, Farid.
Yo.
Yeah, your turn. What do you want to ask?
Actually, I got a lot lah, but that was very insightful. Like what goes on is in his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to know, man. So what's the movements about? Tell me a good story when your time in Dunman High. How was that, bro?
Okay. There's like origin story already.
Okay, the thing is you from Dunman High, then Justice was your instructor, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so your crew was called the D movement, the movement?
D movement.
D movement. Yeah. So but then like in secondary school, because I think when you were in that period, I was also like in the teaching kind of like period.
Right.
Yeah, so but I don't remember yours, yeah. Where were y'all, man? Because when I see your videos and stuff, you guys are pretty good, but where were you guys?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a disclaimer, like D movement is only the crew is only during JC. So technically it's only 2 years.
I see.
Then I think we were a club that we don't join a lot of competitions outside.
I see.
The only competition we go for is Dance Works. Shout out to Dance Works.
Dance Works.
Hey, Dance Works. Hey, bring back the old format, man. The new format is not working, bro. You cannot compete Sec 1s with poly students. Please. Dance Works.
Man. That's ridiculous.
Oh, man. I just hit my headphones. Shout out Beats. Hey, sponsor me.
That's ridiculous.
All right, go.
So yeah, that was the only competition we joined, and I think in JC, because technically you're only there for 2 years, your CCA has to stop in June technically because you have to prep for A levels. So we technically only got like a 1.5 year runway, which is actually really short for a dance crew.
Yeah.
But we managed to squeeze in Dance Works in my second year. So when I was in JC2, then I think that time was the first time we won.
Yeah, you won there. Just say yeah. It's okay, man.
Yeah,
but this podcast, you can be a bit up one. Like, hey, dude, I want that shit. Like, can one, don't can one.
No, I'm just wondering, like, wait, before that, like, when was I remember we got second or third, I believe. Like, that was the last time, and that was in the 4th batch, I believe. Then, like, I'm in the 7th batch. So I believe like that was a time where we like D movement, and back then we had a alumni crew already called T movement.
Okay.
So I think that was a time where we did really well. I think we got first, we got second, and I don't think like it made sense to bring us third. So I think they gave us merit for the other team. So I think that was a year where that's the first time we actually were out there.
Yeah, you like sweep the whole competition.
Yeah, that was 2015.
Yeah.
That's a while back.
Cool,
a while back, man. So then moving forward, after that, do you have, because you know in any cruise, I see you taking a lot of classes. After that, maybe you take old school classes, you take art classes. But who would, like you say, like the few people that you always go and then like you learn the most from?
So I So context before I say like whose class I go. I think me and my friends, what we understood was that we were really passionate about choreography, right? So that was the Brian Puspos and Ian Eastwood era. But we also knew that because under the mentorship of Justice, he's someone
not a fan.
I know Farid not a fan.
100% not a fan, but sure. Okay, you can continue.
So under the mentorship of Justice, like he's someone who emphasized a lot on foundations and basic techniques.
100%.
And I think that's great. And I think like having that understanding at an earlier stage of your dance journey, it's very important. So with that, let me think. There are two more most prominent classes that I always go for. So for foundational training, like hip hop basics, I'll always go for Kate's Basic Groove.
Nice.
Yeah. Then for choreography, I remember like this man had the most impact in my dance journey during that period of time. Like I'll go like his class religiously, and that was Chin. Like so every Friday I remember I'll go there, and that's how I met Andrew and Eugene.
Hi.
So that's how I met them.
The boys. Yes. I shall name them the boys, man. Not Dujan. The boys.
Yeah. So those guys.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm. So these two instructors.
So Chin and Kate. Oh, I just went for Kate's class. Is it 2 days ago?
Yeah, I saw.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
And then he does with Fuzzy, right?
Yeah, it was a last minute thing lah. I was actually finished my class there. I went downstairs.
So now one class only 10 packs, right?
I think there's a certain amount of people that they can fit lah. But like slowly, phase 2 is coming in. Then I think, dude, it's just nice to dance with people again.
Yeah, man. I very long never danced really.
Yeah.
Dude, once you guys get that chance again, oh my gosh, the feeling is so different. Like all these online classes are cool, but you can never
beat.
Exactly.
Never beat. The energy is so different. Even though we stand like far apart.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny, yeah.
Like, but it's cool though, because you stand far apart, right? That's the first time that, wow, I think class got so much space.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Usually, like a packed class, you only can mark all the and then maybe full out like at the last part or something.
Yeah. Turn up. 7 to Smoke.
Wow, we talking about that one. Oh.
All right, tell me about that experience, bro. 5 points, motherfucker, for your first fucking battle. 5 points, 7 to Smoke. Why the hell you get to 7 to Smoke? You never even go to like the one-on-ones. And you got to 7 to Smoke. All right, tell me that story and then your experience in it. So let's go.
Wow, that was a crazy experience. So, I think I got into the freestyle scene also during JC days, and
well, you know you study one very serious. You can study, then you can dance, and like
yeah, man.
My friends in JC all say I cannot, I don't time, I'm gonna fail. How the hell you manage everything? Serious, yeah.
I think everything like you definitely give and take. I definitely focus a lot more on dance and study.
Yeah.
Hey, most of us do.
Yeah, but so after the mid-year, then I told myself, I can't dance as much, so definitely I turned to the books. But before that, I think Justice, he pushed me to join a battle, so that's where it started, because I think me starting from breaking it's very natural to like want to battle, like you're hungry, like you just want to like cypher and go for it. I think that's where the energy came from, and it manifested to let's join like freestyle battles, since I was picking up more hip hop foundations. So that's where it started. Then I went for Turn Up because during that year I was very involved with working on my hip hop. And back then there were a lot of hip hop classes that I can take and also execute a routine to. So I think there were a lot of choreography classes that were swag or hip hop based. So those were a great place to apply those foundations that I've been learning.
Yeah.
Then I remember that they mentioned that there was a 7 to Smoke at the end.
Okay.
And they're gonna pick one student to be part of that 7 to Smoke. The rest are all I don't even remember.
Like just contestants lah. Just contestants lah. Yeah.
I don't know where they came from. So I didn't even know that. I was just like, wow, okay, cool. Then they told me like, oh, you're picked to be this part of the 7 to Smoke. And I was
all right, man, come on, bring it on.
I was like, oh my god, I didn't train because you when you want to enter a battle, you need like the sets. Yeah. You need to prepare. You need to
have like your power moves,
Yeah.
Or some stuff you need to have
Some
that when
stuff,
you know
man.
the song. When the song comes, you gotta use that.
So I was like, wow.
But I got 5 points lah.
Bro, first battle, bro. First
5 points
Yeah.
My first battle against Taiwan, yeah.
My first battle was against Dominic and I lost.
Wow.
But yeah, so like that 5 points, how do you feel after that? Like after the fact that okay, the 7 Smoke is done, and like what was your afterthought?
I feel like part of like definitely there are sentiments of like I did not deserve 5 points. Like no way. Like
but somehow maybe you did something that the judges feel like, hey,
hey, bro,
that's
he
good.
was in their face, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like the b-boy in him come out, no more choreography shit. Out of nowhere,
Yeah, man.
he throws some flair, so throw power move, then get really close. I'm like, hey, this guy since when gangsters, yeah.
This guy
it's like the breaking like
gangster,
origin.
man. Alright, so both of y'all have been to Sino stage. Am I right? Both of y'all, right? So
Yep.
I think maybe you guys can tell like the experience there. How is it different from maybe your experience teaching in Singapore? Right? So maybe Ben can like share his first cause
I'm more adult.
No, of course you McDonald's, so McDonald's goes first.
Hello? Farid, you want McSpicy? No
Double
more.
lah.
No more.
Double.
Don't give you. I already give you a salad.
Why? Hey, wait, you racial profiling, is it? Because I know.
No, because you fat. I want you to be healthy. Okay?
Give me a salad with the McSpicy patty on top.
What's the point?
No, okay. Vegetable. Okay. Your Sino stage experience.
Okay, cool, man. Like, okay, for me it was like really unexpected, okay, because okay, guys, this is a very juicy part that I'm gonna share. But I think I never shared it before. Okay, so back then, early in the days, like you guys, I was really tight with Nick, because of the recital for Chris Martin. The very first time Chris Martin came to Singapore, he did a recital. So I went to audition, I got in. And I think before that I met Nick, but I didn't like be very close. But then I think after the recital, like I started to like talk to him much more, converse with him much more lah. And then after that, like shit happens. And like suddenly there's a tension between me and him. But the thing is something that I cannot control. But I'm okay with him. Yeah, but it's something that I can't control. So that happened for many years. And to the point where I decided, you know what, I switched career. And during the switch career, I wasn't tied to anything anymore. I remember I made that switch. And then I was just like having one class slot at Convert Studio. Yeah. So I think there's one day like I decided, hey man, hey, I got to shout out to Jiajun, bro, because Jiajun actually helped me to bridge the thing back again.
Shout out Jiajun, man.
Shout out, bro. So proud of my brother right there. Yeah, but I need to thank him.
Yeah, and then legacy, hey.
Hey, and that's where I actually like just like decided, hey man, hey Nick, I think we should talk things out and just clear that air in the in whatever we have lah. So I met him. We trash it out for maybe 1 to 2 hours, and we just talk it out. And what happened, like what he thinks and what I think. Yeah. But the thing is just say that there are things that he couldn't control, and he just couldn't help me at that point in time. So yeah, that's that. So after that, right after when we clear the space, I think a few days later, then he called me. He say, "Hey bro, you this day free or not?" I say, "Why do you need like a month from me?" I was like, "Hey bro, go China teach." I was like, "Oh shit, for real?" I was like, "Dude, man," I was like, yeah, sure, I guess." Yeah, because for me, like I've been teaching so long, or I've been dancing so long, and like to me, right, opportunities like this, right, doesn't come across my mind. Like all I think was like, if I get to share, I get to teach here in Singapore, I mean that's a blessing. But stuff like that doesn't come across my mind because there are way better dancers and instructors out there than me. So yeah. So he gave me the opportunity, and I was like very grateful. So shout out to Nick. Thank you for that. And then, but first thing in my mind is like whether, like, you know, like, okay, whether am I ready? Because I have to teach a lot of classes there. I remember I had to teach 26 classes within a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the first thing whether I told myself, hey, am I ready? I mean, like, I don't care about like going there to teach, but am I ready to provide 26 classes worth? Yeah, but I told myself, hey man, everything, you know, is first time. So I just like, okay. So I got like 2 weeks to prep. So within that 2 weeks, I squeeze as much as I can. And the rest I just say, okay, go there and settle. Yeah. But the very like open up my mind was the students there are to all Singaporean dancers or students, the students there are way hungrier. I think 10 times way hungrier than all of us right here. And to them, making mistakes is totally fine. They are so okay with making mistakes. Although they are very, oh my god, I made mistakes. I'm so sorry, teacher. Like they actually apologize to me and say that they made mistake. Like they will go back and practice the choreo, and then to make sure they don't make the same mistakes again. I was like, whoa, okay, this is the first time I hear it. Like even I don't do it. But they actually made effort, and to them, like getting recognition from the instructor is actually very important to them, and it's very precious to them. Yeah. So like I've seen a bunch of very hungry students, and they actually really motivate. You know what it like. You know back then in days when younger days, like how I work up hard to go up being that dancer that I want to be. Yeah, and I remember one instances that after class, like I was super shacked, and like they know that I was so shacked because that was like the second week already. And then like just happened, like they would say, hey teacher, have you eaten? I was like, I ate a little bit just now because I wasn't that hungry and I had like 2 back-to-back classes. Yeah, so they just say, so do you wanna like eat like supper with us? I was like, yeah, sure, man. They were like, yo, you for real? I was just joking, you know. I was like, yeah. Like, don't you guys hang out for supper and stuff? They say, oh no. Like, we don't get chance like that. Usually, like the instructors won't like do such things. I was like, oh, back in my country, we do this all the time. Like, you know, we after class we will go out and have supper and stuff, like be it recital or be it classes or whatever it is.
Or go for 4 a.m. prawning, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's in our culture right here. So like, so when I have supper, like I could tell that they are so happy because chances like this don't come by easily.
I see.
And then I remember that once we had hot pot, because like, you know, China is very like happening with hot pot. So we had hot pot, and all they asked was like my journey. And they never ask like how to improve. They just want to ask like how my journey as a dancer and any advice for us if you want to be that dancer. Like they never ask like, should I improve on this? Like, what do you think of my dance? What do you think? But they are more curious and they're more interested, like what is the journey to get there?
That's
and
cool.
any advice. So it's like it's a very different culture, but they are way, 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 way hungrier than right here in Singapore. Yeah.
That's dope, man. How about yourself, man?
I feel like I think about this a lot because more often than not, like this question pops up, like what's the difference between like XX country versus Singapore, like students?
For sure.
And yeah, I agree with what Ben said, that they are definitely hungrier. They are, because I think you have to understand the context of like in this for Chengdu. So for them, they China is so big, right? So they have to leave their certain like province or states to come to Chengdu just to train. And they pay, and because it's not cheap, the classes are not cheap. So I think there itself it's a commitment already. That what in Singapore it's like, oh, $12 one open class. Never mind lah.
Like today I go this studio, tomorrow I go this studio, and the day after I will just go this studio, and like I can't choose, right?
Yeah, like we are very privileged with choice here, and that's not very. I mean, there's a lot of students in China, but I feel like once you commit, because it's not cheap, you have to commit and really like own your own dance journey, take ownership over your own learning.
Right.
I think I see that a lot in the students there, and there's also, I feel like, you know, Benzo keep mentioning like they will keep referring you as teacher.
Yes.
And it's actually very like distinct culture. I don't see anywhere else. I think it's a Chinese value kind of thing. Like it's like you address your teacher by teacher.
Maybe Japan.
Yeah.
Because when I went there, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So I think it's that very different. That I wasn't very used to, because like I didn't want to feel like I'm above. You know? But yeah, I think in that way, the flip side is that you really can speak into their lives and their journey. Because there's that basis of respect there that they look up to you. And so when you do give feedback, they really take note of those. And I think adding on to the thing about hunger is that in Kinja's Dojo China, their classes starts at 1:40 in the afternoon. And it runs all the way till like 9:40 at night.
But usually we end at 10.
Yeah. There are people that take every single class.
Bro, 1:40 to 10 all, you know?
Wow.
And you just see them outside the studio, like after class, because after each class there's a 20-minute break.
Yeah.
And if they want to have their meals, they'll have like something that they
That's
bought,
bread,
then they'll eat outside.
Yeah, bread.
Then they'll go back in.
Bro, this sounds like dancing training, bro.
I know, bro.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, but it's every day.
Every day, bro.
Yeah, say every day.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope, man. I think you're right lah. I mean, you put it in a nice way where you say we are very privileged with choices. I just say we are spoiled lah. So, but because I think a lot of times we don't really understand how like spoiled we are, how much things we have here. Rather you go back, even like let's say even in Indonesia, one studio is here and everybody else is so far away. Once they come here, it's like an hour, 2 hours kind of like drive. Like 2 hours is quite near. I'm like, what?
And they're gonna make their time worth, right?
Yeah, man. So the hunger is real, the commitment is real. So okay, with that being said, I think we're gonna move on. I think probably our last topic, because I think now 44 minutes already. So
oh my god.
Yeah, you talk a lot. So I today keep quiet a lot. All right, so
sorry, talk a lot.
Nah, it's all good. That's what I like to hear what both of you have to say.
It's like that time Trav come, right? I just keep quiet. I just listen to Farid and
Trav
talk.
Trav for the whole you watch the whole podcast. The first half is just Trav talking. They were just like
and the first half is just like wow F wow CB F CB F CB. I was like.
Alright, so I think what I'm curious to hear you guys So I think if let's say people do follow this podcast in a sense that you can see how we speak, and it's like this journey. So at the start, it feels like in my era when I started, we have to prove ourselves in certain points to certain parts, certain aspect of your dance or what you do in terms of competition or what to get a name out there, something along that line, right? And then, of course, at that time, you see all these overseas instructors and you wish you were them. But then at that period of time, like I don't know whether any Singaporeans have done it at a point of time. They be invited or not. So as time goes by, then it seems like you don't really have to have big accomplishments outside. That you can be accepted into studio classes that people think, hey, I like your craft and I think I want to hire you to share your craft here. Right? So that's that. And then slowly, bit by bit, through these studio classes, the studios help to build your brand and then they get invited out. Like how Freddie got to Urban Dance Camp last time. So I was very proud. I think most of us were very proud. Hey, fuck, Freddie did it. Like, there's a few of us that we went there. And then now, slowly with like the studios getting connected regionally, now getting out is like kind of like a norm. Slowly, bit by bit. So there's this trajectory that how it's going to happen. But as of now, I don't know. What I see is most of the time, Singaporeans need to be championed by a studio to be out. Right. Will you see that in the next time, like just like the music industry, you don't need a studio anymore. It's
you
like
just need some staff to be.
Just like the next upcoming like period will be just dancers from Singapore market themselves in the most interactive, most like the greatest way they can. And I don't need a studio to champion me, but I'll be traveling all around the world to like be accepted for my craft. Do you think that's gonna happen? And what should you think dancers do now? Do they still need to look for that studio slot? Like, do they still need to be there, or do they should look at a different direction now? What do you guys think?
Ben, do you have anything on that? Or like, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first, man.
I think I want to offer. Okay, before I offer like a perspective, I think I'll address your question first. I think it's definitely possible that you don't need a studio because the prevalence of social media is insane, and how like before that influencers were even a job, it wasn't even a thing. But now it's actually something that you can aspire to like make a full-time career out of, or even like a YouTuber. I think if you then bring that perspective into dance, how you market yourself, I think you tap on the virality of things. It's possible, but it's tough because it depends on how well you know how to leverage on algorithms, who you're connected to on social media, who shares your stuff. And then that's itself, it's a marketing thing.
Right.
That if a dancer has that skill, it's great. Because then you know how to bring yourself somewhere. It's that hustler mentality that we also need to respect certain like influencers who have that. So I think it's possible, but what I was wondering when you were saying that is, then it goes back down to the intention. Like, if you want to be out there, then what is it for? If you want to be a studio instructor, what is it for? Because I feel like I see a lot of aspiring young dancers. I mean, I'm young, but like when I do speak to some friends or students, they will say like, I hope one day I can become an instructor too. I feel like that's a very common aspiration. But of course the conversation is changing because now traveling abroad is more possible.
Yeah.
So then there starts to be younger dancers that aspire to be a traveling choreographer. And I think before the trajectory to the pathway to that success, it's always gonna look different. And I think we accept that it's no longer gonna be you might need to be a studio, like you need to win competitions, then you are recognized for your and based on the accolades, then I hire you as an instructor. Then from there, I think you got potential, let me push you further. That's maybe a very traditional trajectory and pathway to becoming a traveling choreographer, but I think now it's like it's definitely talent, it's definitely hard work based on your craft, but so much of it is also based on who you know and who you're connected to.
Right.
That you in the dance community, when because it's a community, you're connected to people, you cannot avoid like that social connection thing and leveraging on that. I'm not saying that all interactions have to be therefore political and have like a hidden agenda, but I think every like success will look very different. And I think based on that question, I also wanted to shed light on the whole aspiration piece for younger dancers, because like we talk about, okay, if I'm good, then the next step after being good is being an instructor. Is usually that, right? But I feel like just because you're good doesn't mean the next step is an instructor, because we're called to do different things. And I think when you do want to become an instructor, then the question becomes why? Why do you want to teach? Or if you want to travel, why do you want to travel? What does that change your craft? How does that change what you do and why you do? And I think this year was the year that I asked myself all these kind of questions, like why was I pursuing this thing about being the one that helms the Singapore flag and become that truly a traveling choreographer? Like, why was I so caught up with that? What does that do for me? How does that change what like I'm already doing? If my very purpose is to share the craft and to, because I feel like it if I'm thinking about doing that so that I can be on a higher level, then what does that higher level entail? Is it just more influence? And is it just more acknowledgement, more followers? And of course, with that new attention and wider outreach, you can do much more. But is that what you want? Is that wider outreach what you want? And if you have that wider outreach, what are you going to do with it? Do you know what you want to do with it? Or is it or are all of this purely to serve your sense of approval or affirmation that, oh, I got somewhere? So I think when I got to these questions, I think I slowed down with my hunger. And because now it's no longer about being hungry for the next big opportunity, but really being honest with like, okay, this is what I do. Why do I do it? And it's as simple as that. You know, it's as simple as why do I dance and why do I teach? And I focus on these two questions alone. And I'm no longer am I caught up with questions like what's next? Where's next? And that's why this perspective, like it's very new to me and I'm still managing it. Still trying to internalize this. But I think what I wanted to challenge was just because you have your craft to a certain level does not mean the next step is like a dance instructor. Or does not mean like, oh, then let's just take this worldwide. Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide!
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
well, I think like, that's one thing, but I feel like it's definitely possible in the future run. But I would say there's definitely pros and cons to this. Like, because I feel like in the future run, I think like being yourself, like definitely like if you put social media, like you put yourself in social media so much, And if you're good, people love your craft, you definitely create opportunities for yourself. But sometimes as well, like it will be a little bit more, I would say, not on the safer side, because it's going to be a brand new thing for you. And I would say that if you, let's say, like if you go like under a studio and stuff, there will be somebody to look after you and, you know, guide you through this process.
Like business wise,
yes, yeah, like, you know, like you don't want to get cheated. You know, like they might say, hey, I'm maybe 10 class for this price, and then you go there, you realize that, hey, this is not what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Because for young dancers, all they care about is, I want to go get out there. And then you have to learn the hard way. I don't know, but for me, like, because I've grown so much throughout the years, and I learned a lot, not just in terms of dance wise, but business wise and protecting myself wise and stuff like that. So it's all about your own decision whether you want to do it or not do it. But definitely the answer is definitely is possible, I would say. Yeah.
Well, man, I really appreciate like your insights in both of you on what you feel about this topic. But I think at the end of it, also, to me, other than the question itself, what come out, which I feel that all of us can relate, is for everyone. If anytime the things gets confusing, it gets hard, it gets difficult, really you go back to your basics.
Yeah, man.
Right? So this is what I learned from N. N teach us the same thing. So she's my mentor, N Tan, right? So you say, like, we were struggling, we were like questioning everything, we were like so stressed out. She asked, why you dance in the first place? Then you really think deep. At the end of it, I just ask myself, I'm like, well, because it's fun.
You know?
So it's fun. Okay, why is it fun? It fills me up. It's made me happy, right? So the bottom of it, because I love music. And how I express the love for music is just through movement. I do a basic 2-step. I just move my shoulders and I'm happy as fuck right now.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to do all this intricate shit. I don't need to.
Yeah.
But so you go down to the basic, then you understand why you love it, and then it makes sense on why you're going through these struggles and stuff. So like I think from that I took out whatever that you say. I think to me that's like something I can really take out. Again, just remind myself, you know, I love this shit. And like relax, man. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, same goes for everybody as well, man. And I think that will be the last part of our podcast. And Jian Hong, Pineappleboogie.
Appreciate Boogie Man for being here and reviewing the iPhone 12 to us. Thank you so much. So okay, I will take your orders right now. So.
Hey, before we go, anything you wanna shout out or anything you wanna plug?
You're still teaching, right? The same old slot. Yeah, I saw.
Yes. I think this is a great time to also for me to look back on my journey, like through the conversation that we have so far. And I think the shout out goes to like everyone like that has influenced me or have been part of my dance journey. So down to my friend who like introduced like the baby freeze tutorial on YouTube. That's how I got into breaking.
Wow.
Down to Studio Wu, I went for like Marzipan's popping class and Winnie Chan's hip hop class.
Winnie! Zebra.
Hey, no, now partially.
And then progressed to like my brother in like brothers that I still dance with, Jiajian, Yuxiang, and Dion, who are all doing such great things in the dance community right now.
They're up and coming.
Yeah.
Up and coming
Then
dancers.
Justice Tan, who's my mentor.
Shout out.
Like he will like I will always like have so much respect for him because so much of what I know, like he gave that foundation.
Right.
Shout out to all the other instructors that I've learned. Like I think my next class was Zai, Kate, Alif, Chin. I can't even recall these for now. Then Amsha came after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amsha is consultant.
Like weirdly.
Oh, okay, consultant.
So after that was like shout out to Ziling. I think my life really
Right.
changed like after she really started to like guide me. I think the guidance is really a lot on character and not on craft, and I realized how important that is.
Yeah.
And shout out to Nick
Hey.
for like
Hey.
you know
Nick.
like otherwise my career like there's no dance career. But I feel like ultimately the person that connected me to Team R was Andrew.
Hey.
So shout out to Andrew.
Dude, we should
Then-
do a podcast with Andrew, man.
Exactly,
yeah.
you should.
And
Like,
the Malaysian
bring him in.
dancers, Denizin.
yeah. And I think I think shout out to Amsha for so much guidance, like over the years when I'm in recognized studio. Shout out to all of you guys, you know, like SGD has been like all the conversations that we have, like if not for that supper, maybe I wouldn't even have ran for like
the
Captain, you know?
captain. They all good, man.
so
Yeah, man. I plan to hopefully get one. We talked on the last podcast. We'll get
yeah.
a panel for club culture, because
yeah.
I think it just shows that for some people it works, and like for yourself, I think you found this newfound intention and family. Like I need to do something more for myself.
Right.
You get
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? So I think I want to do that one and see how lah. Yeah, look out for that, man.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a long shout out. I think it's a great time.
It's all good, man. But this is what the podcast is all about, man.
Yeah.
Juicy stuff, shout out, whatever shit you want to do, whatever say, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Got any beef, anybody? No, last kidding.
Nah.
I like to eat beef. I will eat the beef.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah,
man.
this is
Hey,
lucky
Ben,
you.
Yeah.
bring us out, man. This is dope.
All right, guys. There you have it. Thank you, Boogie, for once again embracing this podcast and sharing your thoughts as a young instructor, a young dancer, and upcoming dancer. So thank you so much, Boogie, for being here, and also my boy Farid for today.
Follow him.
Yeah, man. And his classes is Monday at R. I forget what time, but it's the last slot, the
9:50.
third slot. Yeah.
Choreography
yeah.
class, not urban class.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you have it,
No.
guys, and we shall see what's in tune for the next episode, but it's gonna be interesting. So there we go. Signing out. This is your boy Benzo
Farid.
and
And
Boogie.
this is Boogie. See y'all. Mark with Ever Podcast. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.